Hey YouTube! As you can see, I'm in a different room compared to all my other videos. I decided to switch it up a little bit. I just felt my room wasn't really showing what I love to do, so I decided to bring you into my mini gym at home. I actually never use it, but you can see if there's some weights. If you look up here, you can do lat pulls and rows and everything, so this is a great one for back. This is for, I guess, chest. It's a little hard to see. You can kind of see in the mirror. I have a little exercise machine right here. You kind of pull yourself up, and you can see there's kind of weights everywhere. And then you can see in the back, you can do triceps and everything. So I thought this would be kind of a cool mini fitness room I can do most of my videos in. This week I also want to talk about two things, and I decided to talk about them because I was talking to my best friend who I started doing fitness with. So for a year, her and I were pretty into fitness together. We just go at different times now, so which is fine because life gets busy. But I remember she was saying two things that really caught my attention. I'm like, you know what, this should kind of be talked about. And these are the things to watch out for when you actually start working out. I think a lot of people get a little over obsessed with working out and then they kind of forget about their life. So I want to talk about two things just so if you are new to working out or you feel like you're in these two categories, I'm going to kind of tell you just some more what I've experienced, and then you can see for yourself if you feel like you need to change that type of thing I'm going to talk about or doesn't apply to you. But I'm just going to talk about it because I feel like a lot of people in the fitness world usually do them. So I kind of want to just explain to them what they are. So, number one, I would say the first one is balance, especially for myself. I devoted most of my time for fitness. I was getting into it, and so was my best friend. We did make the mistake, though, we really didn't balance out our life. Um, Balance is a really weird word because no one really has 100% balance. But I think my term of balance is having good amounts of different activities in your life. But if you have too much or too little, is never good for you. And for myself and for other people, I notice, especially on Instagram, balance is pretty hard to do. Everyone's like, oh, fitness this. I go to the gym 3 times a day and I'm going to work out for 3 to 4 hours, intense cardio, intense that. Honestly, everyone should have a life. Fitness is only supposed to help with you. It's not supposed to control you. It's supposed to help you do what you love, but it doesn't you don't want to do your whole life towards it. Doing so much of it for a long period of time, you're eventually just going to give up. It's just really hard to continue with. So I think anyone who's in the fitness world, never forget about balance. Just work out 5 times a week. I used to work out every day. I actually disagree going 7 times a week. I just think it's kind of bad for your mental health. I know other people have different opinions, but I think at least just one rest day a week is necessary. You kind of need to give your body a break. And also, you don't have to go that many times. I understand if it's a little different for people who are competing, but I feel like just with balance, don't forget your friends. Don't forget your other hobbies. It's only there just to keep you active. Number two, I kind of did the norm Roman numerals just because I wasn't sure if the numbers were gonna reverse on the screen, so I thought that'd be easier for that trick. Number two would be your metabolism. Another common thing I think people forget to do is kind of watch what they eat. And I don't know if that sounded weird, but what I mean by that, when you're working out, you are conscious of eating good foods, but a lot of people, depending on your diet, people go crazy with their cheat meals. And actually that's bad. I experienced that. I had a huge weight gain actually, which I guess I'll talk about in a second. But I think there's three main diets or ways of eating that I've seen a lot of people do. There's clean eating, flexible dieting, there's paleo, there's a lot of them. I am a clean eater, and when I first started, I actually would eat a lot on my cheat meals and they would turn into a cheat day. So I would eat extremely clean for 6 days out of the 7 days of the week. But on my cheat day, I would have pizza. I would have a poutine. I would have chips. I would have M&Ms because I love M&Ms. I would just eat everything just because I felt so deprived. And the bad thing with that, it's actually screwing up your metabolism. One cheat meal or a few during the week is fine, but you do it all at once, you're actually not going to have the best progress. And it's really not good for your mental health, and it's just not good for you physically. You kind of feel crappy the next day, and I found I wouldn't want to go to the gym just because I ate so much. I know things happen, events and everything, but generally during your whole life, just try to be careful with what you eat. Even with flexible dieters, I've found a lot of people would eat a lot of bad food to fit their macros. Nothing wrong with that, but I think most people, and especially myself, I'm a firm believer of eating very clean. It's just better for you. You actually get better results. You just feel healthier. But I mean, it's up to you. Overall, I'd be very careful. I know, especially when I was competing for my first competition, I was deprived for 3 months. I could not have a cheat meal, which was understandable. But after that, after my competition, I had the worst post blues ever. I ate so bad for a few weeks. I had the hardest time to get back eating healthy. But because I allowed myself to be deprived, I really screwed up my metabolism. Where even when I tried to eat healthy workout, my body was just in I forget the term right now, but my body was just hungry for food. So everything it had, it turned into fat. So I was literally 120, went up to 160. I guess my body needed to do that, but as you can tell, that's very unhealthy. So anyone who's just starting to work out, I would not go completely whole turkey, cold turkey. I would definitely just make sure you start it slow. So maybe 4 out of the 7 days of the week, eat clean, and then just kind of let yourself relax and slowly get into it. If you ruin your metabolism by eating too much or binging constantly, it's just really bad for the long term. I have experienced it. It was not fun getting it back. I had a lot of work to do. If you have a problem with binge eating, I would just maybe talk to somebody about it. Look at the ways how to cope with it. It could be a sign you're actually not eating enough. So I would definitely increase your calories and just be aware of how you feel. Like if you feel like you're binging a lot, I feel like there is always a reason for it. So don't feel alarmed if you are doing it. I have experienced it. I'm not going to talk about it in this video because I'm going to end it right away. But if you have a problem with that, just be aware of how you eat and try to be good to your metabolism. So those are the two things me and my best friend were kind of talking about. It was basically just balance and keeping your metabolism good. I think a lot of people underestimate how little or how much they need to work out and going crazy on their cheat meals, cheat days, or flexible dieting. Just don't deprive yourself. You literally only just live once. So I thought those were pretty important topics to discuss about. And then a short update on my training. Training is doing good. I was completely great with my cheat meals. I had a great back day. For some reason, for my chest and my legs, I felt very lazy, so I had a really hard time to give her. But for my other three workouts with my biceps, triceps, back, And I guess shoulders. I did pretty well. I'm able to increase the weights. Meals wise, like I said, cheat meal, I did good. So I felt really happy with training. As you can see at the beginning of the video, that was kind of my mini posing routine. I have a lot to work with, but that is my update on my training. I will see you all next week. Please comment and subscribe below. And also, I have a question for everybody. What were your main, I guess, what were your main troubles in the beginning with working out, or what did you struggle with, or how did you overcome it? Or what was your experience when you first started that you realize now that you should have figured out before? So please comment and subscribe. Please let me know what you experienced at the beginning, and I'll see you guys next week.